I ask you this? When you're trying to do a retro Brighton product to upgrade a toy from how it was, but then it's completely brown colour, what do you do when you're in the middle of winter and you've got no other options to do? What do? You buy another one, that's what you do. Hi guys, Retro Trek Ralph here with another part from the Playmates or Bandai, because they're both on the bottom corner here, refurb on the Starship Enterprise. Yes, we went through 2 videos with this. No, the Retro Brighton, as you can see, brown inside there. It didn't work as well as I hoped for one reason. It's just the wrong time of year. If I'd have been in the summer, well, if I'd have actually had summer, this is a proper one. It says £150 there. I shrink wrap stuff when it's in the garage to try and keep these as near to as good as possible, and it is reflecting off the screen. Yeah, it didn't fully work, but if we had a proper summer and then a couple of more goes maybe with the Retro Brighton, this would have no doubt got back to its proper colour. And then we could put LEDs in the nacelles, LEDs in here, drilled out all the windows on the primary and secondary hull, and got this lit from inside because there's plenty of space. So this I actually have a plan for. I don't know whether or not I'll keep this as one episode for this part, or whether or not I'll continue it with another one, but we'll figure that out eventually. So as from the beginning, yep, we bought another one, and here it is out of the box. Now, this is one I bought off eBay. It's not bad colour, but there's something that's not right with this. One, there could be a bit of dirt on here anyway, but 2 of the stickers are already on. This is why I bought this one, is because it had got the stickers that weren't put on it. It was still originally in the packet on the actual piece of paper. He's already put these on. Yes. I could possibly re-peel these off if I needed to. I mean, these bits here look shockingly bad. But yeah, there's some bits that I think they're in the wrong place. They want to be down here. Underside, yeah, it looks okay. There should be something long, but that's not really. I don't like that. Lots of transporter emitters, hell of a lot. So this one is actually as near as damn it. There's a little bit of dirt around there as well, but this doesn't need Retro Brighton. This is fine. This is what we can clean up and done. However, you'll have noticed that the person on eBay, I bought this for 20 quid. I think I bought this one for £150. Now, another £20 on this one box, but the other one was, this is actually boxed as well. The thing with this is he's marker penned some of the windows, and to be honest, if you've not gone over by quite a bit on some of them, let me find you a bad one, because they're all a bit, there you go, there's one there, absolutely shockingly bad, but it's not a bad idea. We've got the templates, and I've got a drill, and I've got patience. I can drill out certain ones. All I do is figure out which ones I don't want to, keep them as they are. Then what I can do is drill out where the holes are on here to light on the inside. There's a lot of work to do. I don't deny that, but keep certain things as they are, but then lots of holes in, fill over with a clear silicone sealant, and then light it from inside. There's a lot of room inside here. This one, also again, these nacelles are actually blue. They were green on the other one. So a bad thing there. Trying to take these off, yes, these do just pull straight off. All the electrics and stuff are all there. Everything seems fine. The elephant in the room, shall we say, is the same as this one. It's somebody's left the batteries in, and yeah, this is going to need a bit of cleaning, a bit of fettling. What I could probably do, because these will run on USB voltage, is I'll probably maybe put this on a stand or something. If I could find one of the talkback ones, I'm half certain that this could be replaced by the talkback stand, and that would possibly, hopefully fit in, because I think they just bolted a stand to the bottom of here. So the problem with them is the original Playmates one that they got out when the series was actually airing, you could fly it around. Look, hey, buttons on the back, yeah. and this with a battery cover, but it looks like a solid ship, but you can't sit it on anything. If you sit it there, it's too heavy forwards. So you need something, a stand. That's what they did with the Talkback series, or Space Talk series. But the battery cover was incorporated into the stand itself. So that would then all fully attach on there, or you'd take that off with the stand, and you've got your Playmates flying around ship with a big hole in the bottom with all the batteries. So what we have planned for this is to do the same as in part one for this one, strip it down, clean out. I need to get inside these again, which were an absolute nightmare to get inside of because the super glue is that stuck inside it. I don't want to damage these. I have got an idea that I could potentially, no I can't, I want to drill out the inside of this that would then be covered by the pylons and stuff a load of LEDs in, but I don't think I can. These are glued in specially very well. Some crazy wild-eyed, but we'll figure out a better way to try to get these de-attached because they are super glued in. So I need to figure out how to de-attach something from super glue. So that's that for now. We will get on with cleaning, stripping. You don't need to see it. I'm gonna get this down to its parts and we'll crack on with doing this project. If you've got any ideas what to do with this project, I have a very, very good idea what to do with this project, with the first one. If you've got a better idea, comments below, and well, we'll never know, it could change part 4 or later in the video. Well, it won't change later in the video, but it will change part 4. So we'll see what we can do from there. Okay, I was hoping for a little bit quicker dismantling than that, but this whole thing with this thing is there's 2 more screws holding the neck and the saucer section on, which are underneath here. This whole section here is glued in, so I'm gonna have to redo that. As well as these are properly glued in. I don't know what to do with these to get them out, but yeah, we will get this done. I was hoping for a nice quick video, it'd be quite funny, but it's now getting a little bit serious. There's one of the cables already come off from the power, but that's not really gonna a problem with me anyway, because all these are just gonna go anyway. So yeah, quick snap, this will all be in pieces hopefully. And there we go, fully back in pieces. Yeah, in pieces. We have issues. We knew the battery box was scuppered, but there was a lot of corrosion coming into here. I was completely unaware that the circuit board may not actually work because of corrosion on here as well, but I think we might get away with it. It's a very basic board circuit anyway, so I think we could get away with this. So yeah, it's in relatively pieces. There's pieces down here need to crack off. The amount of super glue, if you can see right here, there's a the shine on there. There's a massive blob on there. It's all just glued together and then screwed together just to be a little bit over the top. So it's not easy to get into these. I mean, the nacelles are impossible, but we'll have a go at that. We take those off there to get that off, and then we need to do something with the hull. Yes, it's just a little bit clean, and there's only one problem I actually had was on this part here. That bit broke off, but I can glue that back in place. So it's not like I've lost a piece. So a lot of cleaning, a lot of fettling, and that's the start of this. I need to test the electrics, I need to clean everything and strip off all the stickers and get into these. These, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how to get into these without breaking them. I just hope that the glue wasn't much of an issue. But we'll get into that pretty soon and try and get this done. Next step's going to be we can do loads of stuff to this, because I do want to drill out the windows on here and backlight this. The colour wise, I don't really need to paint unless I really cock things up. So let's just see where I can get to. This has been a while. Right, I started this project in November last year, 2021, sorry, and it's been cold in here. The projects aren't getting out as quick as I wanted to, and drilling a few hundred holes into this blooming thing has been an absolute nightmare. I mean, I can light up quite well, I can do as best I can, however, drilling these is a nightmare. I mean, I've had model kits before where you want the light in, it's been a full one, and then you have to drill out the holes. Tip for you if you're going to do this yourself, well, I don't know the tip. The problem with it is when you put the fine drill bit, I think it's about 0.3, 0.5 of a mil into the plastic that you drill into, it kind of sticks to the drill bit, and then you've got a bigger drill bit, and before you realised it, you're making something like that. I mean, some of these holes on here are pretty much spot on, but some really aren't. So it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, actually, looking with light going through it, it's to be honest, not that bad. Let me try and turn some lights off in here and show you a little bit. I mean, ignore the bleeding through, but the light's coming through isn't actually not that bad. I mean, I've not got for every single one, so I didn't want that. So that's actually not bad. I've got plenty of lights coming through the underside. Yeah, the lights only. I will light block and paint the inside of this anyway. Inside of here, yeah, we've got a lot of lights coming through, which is really good. I'm quite happy with that. But these will need either painting. I either paint for my models, it's either going to be black, silver to reflect more, or I use an aluminium tape, which if I did that, I'd have to cover all the inside of here, which then would reflect some of the light elsewhere, which is nice. But I'd have to re-drill out every single one of the holes where the aluminium tape is, which might not be too bad, and I do prefer doing that anyway. So I do it all the way to the edge on here. When these stick together, they shouldn't get a light bleed through. But the amount of lights I can put in here, I am limited to if I keep this as it is. I could completely cut out this power, keep this on there and probably glue it in place. Yeah, it's going to be there, but I'd have a bigger opening on here to put a few LEDs in. I might be able to get away with it. I mean, you know, I just kept this as batteries and keep it standard, then I can put a few LEDs inside just there if I put it back to as it was. Inside here, yeah, I've got quite a big cavity, but there is a speaker going behind there, which I'm going to replace with something smaller. The lights and the circuit board is behind here, so it's going to be a bit tricky for lighting inside there, but not impossible. We have plenty of space. So we should be okay. I could possibly even cut away all this to give me more room for the centre bit there. I mean, I'm not entirely keen on all these bits on here. These aren't standard parts. These two were, but I think they're both blacked out or something. But it's already drilled. I'm not going to refill up all the holes. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a over the top, but to make the sound come through. Yes. So my next job on this is to paint the insides. To black out as much as I can. I do, but I don't. Do I not want to do... Right, I need to paint, but not go over this lip here. So, might have to do a little bit of blocking to start with. I'll paint these yellow as well, just for thrusters. which is fine. I've even drilled out the sides on the top. There's no running lights on the bottom. I don't think it needs it, but I've done a little bit on the side there, one on the front, one on the back there. I'm not going to bother with the nacelles. The nacelles themselves are already in plenty of pieces anyway. This is a problem with them, that you do break them quite a lot. I would like to keep the metal parts on here to do something with, so I can just connect, disconnect whenever I want to. But a permanent cable would be better and nicer, shall we say. And that wants to be the other. Yeah, there's another piece that goes in there. Ignore that completely, that's fine. So it would be easier just running the cable straight underneath here and just gluing this in place. So it's ideas I need to do. I mean, there's some bits like there, crack across there. These bits do not come off in one piece. To get the top section off, it's an absolute nightmare. So if you're doing this yourself, just be aware that you're not going to get this off. No matter how much soaking in isopropanol you do with this, it's never going to come back out in one piece. So it's the best you can do. And what I will probably end up doing, see there you go, that's that covered over, if that goes in place, which is the wrong side, is make all of these without putting the tops on the nacelles. Then I can wire up as best I can. Don't need too much on the lighting. I don't think I need to put blues on the inside of here and red on front. I think I can get away with whites all around. That should be more than enough to light it up. If it doesn't look too blue inside here, then I'll possibly maybe just put some paint, some clear blue paint over the white LEDs, so that doesn't make it too much that I have to do with it. So we have two boards anyway, two sound boards. This one will be going pretty well. The other one, remember this one, the yellowed one? Yes, this will be on a different project. That if you've got some ideas of what I should do with it, please keep it clean. I mean, the retro brighting in October, November last year it did work a little bit, but it's not gonna do anything. I could put this out again, wait till summer and put this out again, but it's not gonna work. Or it will work, but take a lot of faffing. So we're gonna do something else with this, I think. So yeah, let's hope it all goes well. But like I said, this was started November and it's now spring. It was autumn when I started this, but now it's spring, so yay. So I need to get around to painting, light blocking, whatever in for this, and we'll come back with another section. Right, some light blocking has been done. Now, it's what I'd recommend what you do with this sort of stuff is, I could have used silver foil, I was going to, but I had some silver paint. It'll work exactly the same. Gives a little bit of reflection of the light out, not too much. The only thing I'd suggest you do is, there are little bits of paint come through and then splodge through. Just be careful when you're painting. I can easily take all this off, so it's not an issue just yet. I mean, that part there, nothing came through the holes, which is really good. But I did spray this part here, which is going to be seen. I mean, when that goes over there, yeah, it's going to be seen there anyway. It's back into the ship, but I can get rid of that paint anyway. So we will get round to doing that. What I'd recommend you do, once you've sprayed, get a decent torch and put it underneath. Now with this, it will blind you through the holes, which is fine. And to be honest, this saucer, the top side, I would recommend just going through, because you will see parts of light coming through. That is actually really good. A little bit on the back end, that has a little bit of light leakage through on here. I think I've already checked this one anyway, and there's a piece there which I just need a bit more paint on. Right there, you can tell, right there. So I do need to spray back over a little bit on certain bits, so I'll just go over all the pieces and do this with. If that goes a little bit of a light coming through there, I'm not sure it is coming up on camera there, then you will see this when I put lights through this. I mean, this isn't much, so the light leakage on this is only on the very edges here. So I could probably do with a little bit around the side there. Here, there's a big hole in the back there. I mean, the pylons don't need doing. So that's actually not bad at all. It's coming through the top like that, but ignore that. So I need to do really, really at the top. Actually, that's the screw hole there. That might not be seen, because that's a screw coming through the other side from there. See, you can back at bottom of here, a lot of paint's come through there. So I'll tidy up. We can possibly part assemble. I mean, I can probably put that in there. We've got a big hole through the middle, put the wires through. That can go back on there once I've finished any more light leakage stuff, and that will give us a start of the framework. We can lay lights in here, we can lay lights in there. I've still not decided whether or not I want to put batteries in here or put it on a stand, and then see whether or not we can do anything else with it. So it's coming together quite nicely. So just a bit more light blockage, and we can get on with doing some wiring after this. Well, there you go, it's all finished. Thanks for watching. Bye bye now. No, I'm only kidding. There's a slight jump between, there's only a couple of days between the last part of this, edit of this, and now. Now, I have, oh yeah, right, fine. We know we've got this bit silvered, and I've put the battery compartment back in. I'm still undecided whether or not to put a stand on this section and just cut away all the bottom of here. That's going to be in the next couple of weeks or whatever's before I figure out what I want to do. It's not the end of the world if these little few windows aren't lit up, but I could put a stand right in the middle of there and then display this fine, which is a good idea. However, if not, it's going to be stood and it's going to be looking really awkward. So I might end up doing that. If not, I can wire everything up to the terminals on here and put this as 4.5 volts. So it will be a completely mobile Starship. So everything's silvered, everything's done, everything's happy on that section. The bottom section, I've put one screw in here. It might be a mistake, although I put one screw in and it kind of makes it look, and I've glued these on as well. These are looking, ooh, that balances. There's problems with these, yes, I understand. There are bits that will cover it over the top bit. They will see cracks like on there where my thumb is. It is unavoidable because these are properly super glued on and then they're put on top, and then you can't release it. So it's technically, the other nacelle for this side is over here, so that will go over, it'll fit, it'll be fine. So I can do what I want at the minute. So it will look perfectly good. I've also got the top side quite well done. I put the actual Captain's yacht in there as well. So that's put in, screwed in, a couple of holes in there. What I really need to do with this is wire up. And I've also glued in place the impulse engine, which I can put an LED behind, somewhere behind, just to light that up a little bit, and it will be wires around this support here anyway, and then go down into the secondary hole. The wiring for the secondary hole mainly can be done in here. Saucer section all the way up here, which is quite easy enough for me to do. The thing is, bridge section's in place, some holes there and stuff. I'll show you a little bit here. On the model itself, the impulse engines are dark, and I've left these edge bits here. The whole thing will glow up bright red anyway, I'm positive. LED behind here and here, these two will glow up. Granted, it only used to glow up, and this is a little bit of a nitpick for me, it will only glow up when the source is detached. But I'm going to leave it all going on, same as Star Trek Generations, and I don't care, it's fine, it's all going to light up anyway. But I've painted off these as dark around the edge, which is what the model was. So, don't care. Tested the board, that works fine. Speaker, I'm going to change that because I've got a few holes in here, and I'm not entirely keen on these bits around here, so I might just put a LED right there, get a little bit of ambient where the speaker is. Mount a different speaker, maybe put it like there, sort of. Not this one here is just too old and too little. It's just fit in there and will glue in place. Like I said, the board does work, the lights do work. However, my cock-up is this piece here. This goes on that way around, holding down the buttons. Now I've hot glued the crap out of this, and all the buttons work fine. So this will actually light up with LEDs instead of a bulb and deflector and two nacelles. It will be properly lit up. However, me putting that on now is a problem because I've hot glued. I could potentially try and pick off the hot glue, except it does hold rather well. If after a little bit of playing and fettling over the next few days or so of more constructing, this hot glue pops off, I will put that piece in place like it's originally supposed to. If not, that's going in the bin. So we are at the stage now of, I need to start wiring up. I was going to put these nacelles on so they could be detached. So I was putting the original metal curved bits in here, which I wasn't happy because it didn't seem to lock into place properly. It never would, but it doesn't seem to grab hold of anything, so I just completely left that. I took everything out, and it will now wire through these holes here. And then underneath, and then a secondary hole with this silly piece here will cover over. There's nothing I can do about this. This looks cruddy anyway, but it's as it should be. So at the minute, we're going really well. This is going just actually really decently well. There won't be any flashing kits in here. If you want to do that, this is going to cost a fortune to do. So all in all, so far, light blocking, perfectly done. Soundboard in there. Didn't really need to put soundboard in. I've never done a soundboard in anything before, but I'm going to do this. I don't care about the holes. It's a Playmates model. Top section always looks better than the bottom-ish. Doing that because I hold in the speaker. But it will be looking kind of. And nope. And yes, and yes. So this is, yeah, almost how it's going to look. But we need to put lights in. We need to think about stuff like that. So now what I'm going to do is not a custom light kit. It's not anything over the top you will see before. This was just going to be me putting a lot of LEDs in, which I've got, wiring them all up. And then I'll decide at a later time to whether or not to put this with a battery pack or the other, or make a stand. Stand's going to be easy enough afterwards anyway. I could easily, where the battery pack goes in and the wiring goes in, and there'll be whatever wires coming out of here, which everything will wire into, which will go to that terminal, because that's the positive in that corner, negative down here. Yes, there and there. Fine, I could easily take that off, cut the wires, cut this box section out, and then just run two wires, which will be from there to there, which will off of there, which will be here, bear with me, which then will come down a stand. That'll be glued in place. It'll be attached to this. So it's easily done, and I will touch up certain bits. The other thing that I'm a little tiny bit iffy at the moment, I've got this piece on its own, this piece on its own, that piece on its own. This piece is together, and I think I will have to take that off because I need to mark off all these ones that aren't the holes, because the holes, obviously, the light will come through, hooray, including the, well, won't be including the actual screw holes, but the light will come through. And the ones that aren't, I'm going to do the same as the guy who I bought this from, by getting a permanent marker pen and just filling in the hole. And it's going to take a while to do, and I think round there is going to be a problem anyway. So I think that's probably my next job to do, is fill in, black out all of the holes for the windows, the ones that are turned off. There's quite a few on here that aren't switched on, which is, you know, whatever, but there's more on that one, but we can get round to it. So I think my next part will be, oh, by the way, before I carry on, green, green, yellow, yellow. Yes, we have black and red there for the power, which will go down. Eventually I'll probably put a cable in and then connect inside here, then together, which I would do in an old model kit, but I'd glue it round, where at least these is just screwed together. Power, this will, I'll probably get one of these cut off, because that will do the lights for the saucer. Two of these will go down the neck and then go to the secondary hole, and off of camera, the two nacelles and the front navigation reflector. So it's going along really easily. So yeah, I'm not painting this. I don't care about the 1992. I'd rather keep that as authentic as possible. So next stage is black out the windows, touch up some of the paintwork, because there are certain bits, like with the phaser bank, which is just not as that on here. It just wants a little bit of touching up. I've got some dark grey. I can touch up, no problem at all. And then start putting things together. And if things don't fit, like I don't think that part will fit, or these bits, dab a super glue, put them together, screw together, done. And it will be inside, solid, happy. I do like them engines. They are quite good. Ooh, and that speakers need to be replaced as well. So, quick cut again. For me, it's going to be probably weeks, maybe even months. I don't know. This project's been going on now for 6 months, so it's so I need to start filling in and start fettling and getting to a stage where it's going to look absolutely amazing. Small update on this so far. Before I start putting the lights in, I've wired up ready the cables to go to the nacelle, put some lights inside here. I don't think I'm going to bother painting these or even putting blue LEDs in this. I think I'm just going to let the plastic bring its own light through, including the red at the front. So wires are ready. I can attach this to whatever in here, then it'll go straight through the neck to in here, which there'll be some lights hopefully popping up, and then in here, with the wiring's already there, power cables will go down the neck to connect to. Right, this is going to be a change. I was going to put the battery pack in here, but I'm not now. I wanted a stand, and I can't get one. But what I need to do is cut all this away, maybe respray where the plastic bits are going to be so the light will bleed through like a square on here. I need to mount this on something. Now, I've been looking everywhere for a stand, and I can't find anything until the missus come up with a good idea. Lamp. This is just laying around at home doing absolutely nothing. Works fine, but it's a cheap old lamp. But it's a base with a shaft, which is a hollow shaft. So what I need to do is cut this to whatever size I want, mount this on there somehow, which I should be able to do. Maybe I can just cut it and splay out the edges a little bit, maybe squash things down a little. So this would actually fit onto there, then the whole ship would then slide in. But this would be an almost permanent connection anyway, so I'll probably glue this in place afterwards onto the actual base part here. Next part, I need to take that out, cut away, remove, because when this is on the stand, the whole thing, once the cable's gone through, will just, and then it'll be done. And that will be on a stand. I could have got the stand which comes with the, I think the torque back one or the battle damage one, but no, I couldn't be bothered. Can't find it, they're too expensive, and for this project, cheapness as possible. So I'm going to run 12 volts in this. I've got a stack of 12 volt white LEDs, which I can do. Chop this down and start wiring up some lights. I'll show you the next part, hopefully, where I've got LEDs, probably going to be from here pointing upwards to light the other section, and the other section there pointing upwards to light this. Yeah, that's the way I do it. And then connect the saucer to the saucer, and then stack and screw in place. Then I've got inside here to do, and that would be, yeah, it'd be a nice, nearly finished, complete project. And I know this video's going on quite a bit anyway, but that's why I need to keep these little video bits short and show you what I'm doing. Yeah, eventually. Meanwhile, later the same day, obviously, the lights are in. All the lights that I want to put in here are in. The nacelles are having two of these. These are the 12 volt. I admit, I am not going with the soundboard, and I'm not going with the battery pack, because it needs to be better lit. It needs a 12 volt, and the rest of my models in here are all 12 volts anyway, so they need to be on the same circuit as that. Two of these lights that I actually use. If you've got any 12 volt lights in your house, then yeah, these aren't too bad for it. So yeah, the 12 volt thingy lights that you just push in, these prong ones, they wire up anyway. These ones wire up either way. It's quite good. You can put them in whatever direction you want, and it'll regulate to whatever it wants to go to. Fine, lots of bulbs in there. Hopefully, going to make the nacelles, which I've actually painted blue now, a see-through clear blue, which should make these both nacelles do pretty well. Cables need to be wired up to them. Inside on the saucer, I've got three of these different types. These actually come, actually, you know, these are the same ones. There's a different type inside here. One of the wires snapped off, to resolder back on. So this should light up, and it should light that way, should light down. It should reflect around to make inside here pretty good. Two standard LEDs for the neck section, one down here for the impulse engine at the back, two on here just for the impulse engine on this as well. Now, it's all going to be wired up on here. There's two different type ones. These actually go on the car, the 12 volt ones on the car, which just slide in one way but not the other. So they have a plus or minus on to actually, for me to wire up anyway. These ones, I put these red because this bank of the LEDs are gone. They're just cheap, crappy things anyway, but I assume the capacitor, the diode or whatever it is on there has just failed. So, yeah. So I've not used these two because that's lost 3 on there. So I've used 2 just to do this bit in here. It's angled, so it will go to the bottom as well. Talking of the bottom, this is now taped in. The battery compartment is completely gone. There's a hole in the front. I was going to put a hole right there, but then there's an insignia there, plus the stand is going to go in there. A little bit of clean up. I need to put some adhesive to make sure it's on the stand permanently. Back over to the saucer section. Not much, well, there is change in here. I've just basically left these in there. There's nothing much I can do with it. If somebody else wants to put the soundboard in there to transfer whatever power in, I could probably drop it. I'm sure I could put a resistor on it to drop it to 3 volts, and then that will go, or 4.5 volts to go in there. I don't know what resistance is. I'm not that clever. So that is going to be as is, and I've blacked off these. So I don't want this bit low. And I've seen somebody on eBay selling one of these. And it's got the stand, so it's the space one or the one with the battle sections on it. And this just glows up. It's done something with the windows, but this bit actually glows up. It looks ridiculous. So, the sounds again, painted on the inside as well, make it a bit more of a blue. I don't want to paint these gold. I do, but I don't. They're all rough and edges on here, will be covered over when they're on inside there. Plus, the stand is done. I thought about keeping it silver, but I wanted to put a switch on here, and I wanted to put a socket on there as well for wiring things in. Only thing I'm missing to do is the wiring. Everything just needs to be wired up. I've actually got, this is black gloss, and I actually have a glitter. Yeah, quite nice really. So it looks pretty good when this thing goes on top of it. Actually, to be honest, I can show you that bit on there anyway. But that's as far as we go. That's how it's going to go. These ships are nose heavy, very nose heavy, and then extra bit on there. It won't be balanced properly, but having a metal rod in there will keep it as balanced as I can possibly get it. So, wiring. What we're going to do is put the wire up all of these red to red, doesn't matter to which ones of these, to make all of those to come together on the red. Send it down inside here, put the saucer on top, eventually we'll have 2 cables in here. Red, well, we'll have green and yellow as well because these are forced through. Red, which will come off a cable straight down through the stand, black through the stand. It'll be wired up in here, and I have to put some extra bits in the stand anyway. 2 wires will come out of there. One will come to the positive section on there, or the negative. One will go to the switch, other one to the switch back to there. So it completes the circuit. So the power cable will come in, and then switch on, off, on, off. Simple, very simple and effective circuit, and it will work. What I have in here, I have one of these remote control switches for all of my lights, because they're all on one transformer, which is an LPC transformer. Very high wattage, will take all the models I will ever use. That in mind, I need to start to wire. So I'll start off with here. I can ignore this because this will go on afterwards. I can ignore these because these go on afterwards. These will all be super glued in place, or model glue, or whatever can be bothered to do. This will go on afterwards. That piece can still slide off, but there's no need to. Blacked out where the joins are along here, so no light reflects out. So, all I need to do is wire all this lot up. How difficult can it be? Wiring is done. Lights are ready. The only thing wired left to do is to wire up the stand, put the cables down here, and attach one to either of these. And obviously wire up there'll be 2 cables going into here. There'll be one going in from the power to the positive to the switch up to the red wire, and then the black wire will come, black goes back down to the negative. That's how the circuit is going to work. So they'll be switching on the base. They're all rigged up, they're all wired up. I've not actually tested this. Everything's insulated as much as I need to. It's perfectly fine. Like I said, these were not a positive negative side, so it was absolutely perfectly fine to do. These ones were, so these have to be one way or the other. Like I said, they worked on cars anyway, so it's fine. So we need to now get the stand get the cable through that, wire up that one, and make sure the switch is ready, and then it's cables through the top into here, well, through here, and then wire into there. It would have been probably easy if I'd not blocked out this, then I could have wired up and then connected in afterwards. But yeah, I'm sure I can solder a couple of cables in there when they're in here, pull through the bottom, and then it should be easy enough to do. And those covers cover up the cables there and there. We're not after perfection here, we know this from the start, but yeah, this is going pretty well. Look where I'm up to. Wiring's done, lights are in, everything's done. It's not together yet, it's not screwed together. I need to fit the bottom base to this bit to make it more secure on the stand. Let me show you the stand anyway without falling to pieces. Yep, there it is, socket on the back. I decided not to go with the silver because I kept scratching a couple of these parts, so I sprayed it black and then over the top with a nice little glittery sort of lacquer, which looks quite good up close. If you can see it, if you can't, then time bit of shine. So wanting to do this will literally just sit, that washer being wedged into there, this will sit onto there, and to screw this to there and glue this part along there onto this bit, then we can faff. But at the minute it is holding itself there. Just when I turn the lights on, ta-da, whole bits around here work. Two for the impulse here, two for the neck. There's two inside here which are just coming through a bit. I don't want it too much anyway. The nacelles, at the minute I painted the inside of these. Yeah, there's a gap in the middle. I could do doing the third one there, but it's not going to happen. Will not happen. Sorry, whoop they do. But the actual buzzsaw collectors look really good. They're not too red. So this should light up. It's been nicely dimmed down by the top. Done. The only problem I've got is this in here. I wanted the impulse engine lighting up the back, which it does quite nicely. But there's one of the legs from the saucer going to go straight down into there, so it might bleed around it. It might get a little bit round. We'll see what happens. It might look amazing. It might be a waste of a bulb. So done. We're all sorted and ready for construction, so I'm going to put them all back together again. The next time you see this will be fully done. The saucer will be on place. See, there are plenty of lights coming through, isn't there? I'm quite happy with that. And both nacelles will be capped, covered, done, and should be done, still completed quicker than the Eagle Moss Enterprise D. Now, are you ready? It don't look bad to me. I'm really quite happy with this. The way it's turned out, and it's on the stand pretty much. I've had to put some hot melt in there as well, some hot glue, just to secure it properly because it was a little bit wobbly. And this is very top heavy. I could have probably done with putting the stand there in the middle of the neck, but then that looks stupid. So they're always on the bottom end of here anyway. Could have gone any further that way to distribute the weight over. The way I can actually sort this out is by putting a hell of a lot of weight in this back corner and the back of the nacelles and stuff. Would have balanced out a lot more, but it would have been quite a heavy model to do. Now all I'm going to do is I can show you the lights by turning off all of my normal lights, switching to here, done. You know, for an amateur, for an idiot, that's actually not bad. There's some lovely blue glow on here. Granted, the blue of the nacelle, yes, the middle bit is missing, but it does reflect a little bit. The only thing I'm not 100% keen on is the deflector. I need a blue part in the middle there anyway. The neck glows up quite well as well. Actually, I don't even looked underneath. Yep. See, there are windows on there which are black and been with marker pen, look like they've been turned off. Yes, the screws are there. This is a Playmate model. But, why is there a light there? Oh, it's a light behind me. Yeah, but it does transform quite well. In the rear end, my impulse engine actually is lighting up. I'm happy with that. I can see in the middle there. There's a plastic bit going straight down. You might be able to as well. But yeah, it's still glowing as I thought it would. Very nice dark red. because I didn't paint these impulse engines here. I could probably do with painting this one a lovely shade of red. Yeah, deep dark red, but I never touched these. All I did with these ones was paint the outsides so they don't bleed as much, but it looks like when the whole thing's turned off, thank you, is the dark engines. Similar to what the Eagle Moss one is. But I'm actually impressed with that. There are quite a few faults with this. Yes, there's a couple of light bleeds and whatever. Yes, I don't actually care. Front end bit of the underneath the nacelle, why are those windows red? Yes, they're next to the navigation reflector. There's a problem. But it's actually the light. I'm actually quite impressed. It's the first time I've actually seen this as it is. The other windows are a little bit, shall we say, whatever. But one, this is pre Eagle Moss getting their kit done. Two, I started this in I think October last year. And three, it lights up better. There's better panel gaps. I've got a little bit of light bleed through there. There's a bits of light coming through on this bit. Yeah, I didn't want it too much, but it has actually given the impression there are bits on there, which is fine. There are windows. Surprisingly enough, I've actually looked on some of the models that have been done of this. Not of this one, but the actual original models. Most of the lifeboats on this are in the right place. But the only failure I can actually see is one on this side, one on the front, and one on that side. It's a navigational lights, and they're right there. These circles, I drilled them out, I filled them with a hot glue and painted them red. Painted this one red, painted the one on the other side green. And actually you can barely see that coming through. But the light is kind of stopped before it gets there because of the rim, the lip there. A little bit of light leakage coming through. Could have done with having all of this top section glued in place. I still can. Can undo all of these screws on here. Well, not hot glue, super glue all the way around the edge, slap it back down again, and then that would stop little bits of light like there. Actually, it would just stop that piece of light there. So that's all that happened. And I said, tiny bit there where I missed a bit on the silver glue, on the silver paint, should I say? Tiny bit on that side as well, but that ain't bad. Now, anybody remember back in part one why I actually bought this? Well, anybody remember back in part one why I bought this? Okay, it's because that. I thought I could retrobrite this one, and I will do something else with this. I should retrobrite this nearly in winter, which is a bad idea, and put this unopened sticker kit on there. And this is still unopened. I still haven't opened it. I've been tempted to open it, but I'm going to open this now for you. Oh, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to have to cut it open because that's going to rip the bag open, so I'll open it that way. There we go. So we are open. This is a fresh bag that you get from, tape's holding it in, never been used, never been touched. This will go on here because it's a Playmates model, why not? Instructions, never been unfolded. Right, shows you where exactly to put all the stickers. I will not be putting some on, like number 17 goes right on the front. Doesn't even show you which way around number 17 goes. If it goes that way on the front, lines downwards like deck 10, or whether it goes that way because it looks stupid, but that's not going on. Yes, 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 probably yes, definitely yes. The biggest problem I have with this, you look on some of the models and it does tell you, it generalizes these. I'll give you a clue on the top section, right? Number 1 is there. Number 1 and number 19. So number 1, 19. The USS Enterprise is straight as a line going straight across. The problem with actually the proper model itself, you got a row of these lifeboats, a row of lights, and it goes behind. The NCC 171D goes there, and above it goes the name. These are in the right place. This line of lights want to be further up. It's only the size of it, that's the problem. There is a full line of nothingness over here. They basically forgot that there's a gap. Wants to be a bigger gap there and there. If I can fit them across there, so be it, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. It will come across there, but I think the Enterprise bit will be too close to these windows. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and stick things on, get them sorted. Little Enterprise, little 1701. I would like it if there was this part here, which there isn't, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm going to get these stuck on, turn that off, and then we'll give you a big full reveal in a second. There she is, complete, done, and I am, yeah, I'm really happy. Really happy with this. It's not gone too bad. Yeah, there's been some flaws, yes, there's been problems. I wasn't sure that the main registry and the name, which is supposed to go there, would actually fit there. But it does. I didn't want to put it across here like a lot of people seem to do. If you look at the proper production models, the Eagle Moss models, anything that we're doing, it goes between these two banks of windows right here. And it's nice. It would fit better there, but this is where these go. And that's where they go. And that's where that goes. There's another stripe going back here, but I can't get it in there because the buttons are in the way. The buttons have been disconnected because. Right, there is only, trust me, this is the end. There's two lots of stickers I haven't put on. Number 18, which apparently according to the book goes across here, which I'm not happy with because it looks like an afterthought of deck 10 forward. So I'm not bothered. Deck 10 forward was one half, or what the other half. It was either top or the bottom deck. One was either deck 9, one was the deck 10. Don't know, forgot. But also these thrusters on here. I don't like the thrusters on the back end. They look a bit odd, but these thrusters as well, which go on the front, I don't know whether or not they go that way around or whether or not they go on the desk or they go that way around. I don't think they go either way. They just look really odd because these parts here aren't lined up. I'll show you that side as well. Oh, the way unaligned out of there, so I'm not putting them on. I don't care. Have a go at me in the comments. I'm not bothered. So there's those two there which make it look bloody stupid. Yes, I've got some nice little accents on here. Yes, it's stickers. Yes, I'm about it anyway. I would have loved to have got a set of decals for this, but done. Happy. Your got underside looks a tiny bit iffy. Stands there. There's faults with this, which is my own fault. Yes, there's little bits of strain marks, shall we say, on the plastic, or breakages there's line marks over here and stuff. The screws, I am not bothered. I am really not bothered. So let me get you this. Let me get all the lights out, plug you in, turn you off. Oh, where am I? And the telly's on. So here we go. There she goes. Now, if you could see this actually lit up on here, that'd be fine. But all the windows that I've drilled out are there. If I cover over there, you can see them all. The nacelles nicely, very nicely light up. It's subtle. It's good. And from there, turn that one off. Well, if we can cover that one over a little. You see? It's not overpowering. What I've done is really good. So if you get one of these yourself, you can do as much light blocking, you can do as much window drilling out as you possibly want to do. Don't need that one on. No, I need this one on. I have so many lights in here, it's ridiculous. So let's get that one down. There you go. The whole thing with this model is it's not far from the production model colour. There was either a duck egg blue or it's a greyish, mid-grey, and people are going to complain for decades, which one is it? Complain about the Refit Enterprise. That was white until they killed it and resprayed it, but it was a lovely pearlescent colour that the paint scheme looked absolutely stunning on. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm happy enough to display this as a 3/4 sized. Yeah, let's have a quick go at. Oh, Oh shoot, that's heavy. The Eagle Moss model. Yes, it is slightly different sized. I mean, granted, yes, and it is quite different, but it's not for. But part of having an Aztec pattern on there, and I refuse to put an Aztec pattern on this because one, ain't that good, and two, it's a size rate, doesn't need it. So it's good enough for me. And this, if this give you any ideas to do with this on your own, please say whatever you want in the comments. I mean, there's some bits on here which the actual plastic hasn't gone cleared out properly, but it actually looks like there's something behind there. Yes, I could have filled in every single one of these windows. No, I haven't got the patience for it. Yes, I can see wires through the secondary hole, because there are wires. There's a yellow bit there, but I don't care. These could be labs. There's a little red and black bit inside there. Yes, yes, yes. Whoop-de-doo. There's a night light, to be honest. This ain't bad. So, there. And it's independently turned off. All turned off with one switch. Not like the Eagle Moss, which has got, don't know yet, quite a few. So, as I say, if this inspires you to do one of these, go on eBay, go at your local car boot, go wherever you can find one of these. Do as much or as little as you want to do these as you possibly want to. I've done quite a lot. It was just the idea that the stickers, what came with that first set, was a big driving force on this to start with. So that's that one done. I still have things to do. I mean, look at the size of it compared to an Eagle Moss model. I always compare it to the size of my hand. It's either that way or it's that way, or the XLs are kind of all. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I could take it further. I don't want to. So I'm stopping there. This is going on the shelf behind me with the rest of the models. It's going to be a good size-wise. To be honest, it probably fits well with the 1/1000s sort of scale, because they're kind of small. And if I could reach one, I would. No, I'm not going to reach one. So anyway, that in mind, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Like, share and subscribe. Please comment. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down if you want. I don't mind. If you've done something you don't think's right, then so be it. And I will see you guys in another video. Bye for now.